The Century Media Podcast.
Hi, this is Cam Pipes from 3 Inches of Blood, and welcome to the Century Media Podcast On the Record. Our new album is called Here Waits Thy Doom. The album title, kind of strange how we got it. We went back and forth amongst ourselves for quite a while. It seemed just throwing ideas out there, like what should we call the record. That's always a really tough decision. It's almost as hard and probably more important than like deciding on the actual artwork. We would just come up with lists of things, of ideas we had, and I know I'd just been like reading a book one day, and I saw those 4 words, "Here waits thy doom," and it kind of had some kind of like old-timey kind of feeling with the word "thy" instead of saying like "here waits your doom." Here waits thy doom. So I threw that in there with the suggestions I had, and just put forth a list of like, how about these for album titles, and that was the one, to my surprise actually, that everyone else really that really resonated well with them. So we pondered it for a while. We're like, okay, this is when the album's titles are going to be called, and that's kind of, it just kind of stuck, and here we are now, and that's how we got it. The producer on this record was Jack Endino. Jack is a guy that we were all very familiar with his past and what he'd done as far as the kinds of records he's made. Some people know him as more of a Seattle kind of grunge guy, because he did do a lot of those records. But he's done like quite a wide mix of stuff, not just grunge or whatever, but he's done a lot of rock and metal as well. So that, and the fact that we had worked with Jack before on demos for the previous album, and he was the engineer while we were trying out the producer for the last record, just to see how his studio vibe was, and his producing style, just to like try it out and see how he worked. And Jack engineered those demos, and so we had the benefit of having worked with him before, and he was available, and he's came across as a very easygoing guy, but works hard, and he works smart, and he's got a lot of experience under his belt. So we decided to work with him again, but higher profile capacity, having him produce and engineer it, and everything went really smoothly, and made a really good record with him. He shared a lot of like-minded musical tastes, being fans of older music, older rock and metal, and so we identified with Jack in a lot of ways. So made the whole process very pleasant and very stress-free. The album was recorded in Seattle at Soundhouse Studio, which is literally right next to Jack Endino's house. It was a great situation for us, because Seattle's not that far from where we live, in Vancouver, BC, which is a couple-hour drive, and we've made that drive down to Seattle many times to play shows. And we lived in the studio basically. A couple people would sleep in the big sound room, just on a mattress or on the couch, and then a couple of people would stay in a spare room in Jack's house. So maybe roughed it a little bit, but not really. It's not like we were uncomfortable at all. It was more about convenience and to an extent save a little bit of money. But it made it really easy just having the studio right there. You wake up, get a coffee, and you don't really have to do any traveling here, because you're already there. And so that made the days go by very productively, because we didn't, we weren't wasting time with in transit, transporting ourselves to and from like a hotel, like it might be in some situations. So living conditions were were very good. Travel was virtually none. The only traveling we would do was just sometimes we'd get up, drive down the street, have for breakfast, and then drive back and record, and then maybe take a dinner break, go to a restaurant or something like that. It was all very mellow. No crazy exciting stories really, except that we just got down to brass tacks and just worked hard and made the record fast, but we definitely didn't rush it. Songwriting. These songs were basically all written in a 2 or 3 month period earlier this year, 2009. After our last tour, which was in January, we'd all decided ahead of time we were gonna set aside the bulk of the winter and the spring to just write, and then hopefully be in the studio by late spring, early summer. And we practiced every day. We wrote songs every day. We would set little goals, like we want to have the basic outline for 2 songs this week, and have 2 more the next, and then the 2 from the first week would want to get those good and tight, and then have lyrics in there. So we're pretty easygoing, relaxed people, so we never put too much pressure on ourselves. We didn't want to stress ourselves out with the idea of having to be in the studio at some point this year or before the summer in order for the record to come out before the end of 2009. And I think we all worked very well together. It was very focused. Everyone had their part, but we were all involved when it actually came to putting the song together. Once all the riffs and all the lyrics were done, everyone took an active role in deciding how songs should be arranged. And I think everyone's really happy with how it came out. It's pretty basic, simple process. Just we went in, wrote songs, recorded them, and now we're gonna go out and tour them. Overall vibe, feeling, message of the album, not really. It's not a concept album. We're just, this is the next 3 Inches of Blood record, and we just hope people enjoy it. Pretty much the goal of any record we're going to put out is just to hope people enjoy it, and hope we can make new fans and more fans with each record that we make. Keep us out there, keep us on your mind, and check us out, and we will deliver the metal goods for you. Artwork, that was a bit of a headache, deciding what we were going to do, what kind of artist we want. We had a hard time agreeing on what kind of art concept we wanted to use, and then even then it was hard to decide what artist we were going to use. We couldn't agree on any particular artist. I like certain kinds of artists that the other guys don't, and vice versa. So the idea was suggested to try some form of photography. So we had a couple different photographers interpret the album title in their own way, and then we got ideas based on what they came up with. Tried some different things, and got the album title that you see now. It's simple, effective. We didn't want it to be too flashy, but we still wanted it to be somewhat visually striking without being too loud, and definitely didn't want it to be tacky at all like some fantasy art album covers can be. It's a little more bare bones than we've done before, but I think there's still a lot that's really engaging about the album cover, and we're always willing to try something new, and whether it be musically or just art-wise, we're always gonna keep an open mind and try different things. So who knows what the next album will do, but for now we're gonna focus on this one, and hope people dig it.
That's right, make sure you check out the new 3 Inches of Blood album, Here Waits Thy Doom. It's in stores now, and the band's out there on the road as well. For tour dates, check out www.centurymedia.com. And right now, let's play a track from that album. It's a track called Call of the Hammer. It's 3 Inches of Blood. Take it away, Cam.
Hi, this is Cam from 3 Inches of Blood, and you're listening to the Century Media Podcast.